Hey, what's going on, guys? So it's been about a week since I made the last video. I'm gonna go ahead and go through, show you kind of where we're at this week and what we've got going on and where we're gonna be at in the next week or two. So this car came in, it's a C6 Z06, it's a Z07 package, it's a Centennial. It's got a built 427, dart block in it, RPM B3 cam, all kinds of good stuff. This car is pretty much what you would want if you own a C6 Z06. I mean, it's got the LG GT2 coilovers, it's got the carbon ceramic brakes, it's got the right engine combination, it's the right color, it's beautiful, Z06 aluminum frame, very fun car. This thing now is just waiting on the tune, and as you see, I just need to do a little bit of modifying the ride height. The back is just a touch lower than I would like it to be for the customer. You may plan to sell this car, and not a lot of people want a car that slams on the ground. A lot of people get nervous about it, so I'm going to go through and adjust it just a little bit. Preload's already done all the way around, so she should be pretty much ready to rip once the tune's done and ride height's adjusted here. So this truck is Taffy. Taffy's been with me for a little while. This is a customer's vehicle that he bought from a shop out north that used a lot of cheaper parts and has had a lot of failures. However, Taffy's a 1978 C10. It's LS swapped. It originally had a 5.3 that was looked like just probably pulled out of a junkyard on the internal side of it and thrown together, dingle ball hone and all that crap. It didn't seal, had a lot of crankcase blow by, wasn't a very reliable setup, had a lot of Chinese Amazon parts. However, she is got a 6-liter Thompson short block now, LS1 heads, just got finished measuring the push rods, and this truck is on the Holley Terminator X. It's got 7875 DS Racing turbo now. It had a $150 GT45 on it before. It's fast LSXR intake. It's got AC, which is pretty important. This truck plans to maybe do some drag and drives. It has a built 4L60. It's got QA1 suspension all the way around, Wilwood brakes, rocket wheels. It also has a set of Toyo Archer plates waiting to go on it once the truck is a little bit further along. It has trans cooler, oil cooler. That's a oil reservoir. There's a lot of stuff that's getting done on this truck. Updated modifications. It's really clean. The truck's gonna be really sweet when it's all said and done. Low target numbers, only looking to make around 600 or so. Guy wants to just drive it and enjoy it. So I'll take you over to my car. So same thing here. My car has been a long time coming. This car has been through a lot. So it was originally so I'm gonna take you kind of through my car and show you what I've done so far to it, and kind of give you a little bit of a rundown in the history, because I haven't talked about this car really ever. When I first started this channel, it was mainly just for the Ram, because this car's been down for a while, so it lost my interest, but that interest has sparked back, and kind of go through it now. So this is my 07 Z06. As you can see, it has a bumper cutout, and then over here also has a bumper cutout. Not pictured is my other hood. The cowl, as you see, is cut. So as you can imagine, what the car used to be. It used to be a YSI billet, Vortex supercharger that was on 20 pounds. It was making 1100 horsepower and had a high ram. I had the air to water intercooler on the high ram. So it was giant, sticking out the hood. Car was pretty cool, but it was pretty cut up. Car made a lot of power, so it also came with a lot of problems, and I just kind of got tired of dealing with all the issues. The engine itself usually wasn't the problem, it was always the transmissions. Went through 3 256s, 2 torque tube rebuilds, maybe 3 torque tube rebuilds, and then I just put a ZR1 60/60 trans in it a few miles before I took the car down. So the car developed an exhaust leak. I had raced a leader bike that was on nitrous and sprockets and all the stuff that they do to it. We were pretty close, and then every time I shifted, I kept falling behind because I kept falling out of my peak power band. So once the car developed an exhaust leak, I was like, you know what? I'm going to stay in the power band all the time. I'm getting rid of the YSI billet. I just assumed that one of the headers were cracked, and I'm not paying another $4,000 for a set of headers. It was just an exhaust manifold gasket. I just made the assumption, but just wanted to push myself over the edge. And I decided I was doing twin turbos. So the cutouts that you saw in the bumper were for twin turbos, for it to stick out of the fog light assembly and be just real clean and look mean. And I plan to make 1,250 wheel horsepower with it. And then I lost interest because I didn't like how the kit was laid out. It was a custom kit, and it went through the bottom of the subframe. Did oval tubing to try to tuck it up and keep it nice. The fab work was nice. I just wasn't a fan of how it was laid out, because I was stuck to running a front runner all the time, a 17-inch, 4.5, 5-inch wide wheel because of where the turbo sat and the downpipe. I wasn't a fan. It just really took a lot of the fun away from the car that I could see in the future. So where I'm at now. So where the car's at now is I bought C10s, black rotors. I powder coated calipers. This is the same engine that was YSI billet before. The old pistons are in that box now. Did a compression change. It's 13.8 to 1 compression now. The heads are ported, they're milled. So I'm hoping with everything that's done, it should make low 600s to the wheel pretty effortlessly. I'm going to end up fabricating a crankcase evac setup for, like a vacuum pump setup, but not one of those $2,000 Moroso setups. Just measured the push rod length on this the other day. I ordered push rods for it too. I've Cerakoted the headers. I powder coated a lot of the engine parts. Cerakoted that. Throttle body. I've got oil coolers here. Car's still going to have AC. I built aero for it. Well, I say built, but I've designed the aero for it. I designed the front splitter. I designed a rear diffuser. I'll put pictures in there and kind of show you where I'm at with that. The car still has ZR1 60/60 trans, and it's currently on Viking coilovers that I'm going to respring once I kind of get all the aero on and get the final weight of the car, so I can figure out my spring rates that I want to do. I'm thinking maybe 800 or 850 in the front and 950-ish in the rear. Now, since it was a drag car, I got rid of the rear diffuser, the OEM one, and subsequently I threw 2 of them away. But I'm going to design, well, I've already designed the rear diffuser and how I'm going to set it up. So I think this empty space that's up here, not that I don't want to buy another diffuser, but I'm going to utilize the space and tie it in with the aero. I'm going to build something with the exhaust and do something a little custom. That I have a set of Corsa Sports for it, but I don't think I'm going to use them and do something aside from the traditional look. I'm going to do chassis mount wing. I'm going to do probably 2-foot spacing, 24.5-inch spacing for the chassis mount, and it's going to be a swan neck, and the wing's going to be 74 inches wide. So this thing should look pretty gnarly when it's all done. And also perform well, more than just looks. So I don't want to do the fender vents that everybody does on these cars. I know they have a purpose. I just can't get behind the way they look. This is the spare hood that I have, and I'm thinking that for the intake, because I've utilized this space for oil coolers, power steering cooler, that I'm going to do a flush mounted intake on the hood, to kind of do it maybe like right here where it scoops in the air. It'll have a screen on it, and some kind of mesh, but it'll get direct airflow and shouldn't kill aerodynamics because it's going to be all pretty tight straight to the engine. So we'll see. Hopefully within a week or two I'll be able to hear this thing run, and it's been down for 2.5 years, so it'll be a pretty good time for me. So in the next week or two you'll see another video, maybe with her too. She's been a pretty big help with a lot of the stuff that I've done to the car as far as powder coating and Cerakoting. Do all that stuff myself. I've taught her how to sandblast and powder coat and Cerakote. Some of the stuff she's a little bit nervous on because she doesn't want me to yell at her and get mad at her for it being wrong or bad. But the fact is we can always redo it, right? So look forward to it in the next week or two for another video.